I'd like to look at two lines from Johann Sebastian Bach's Invention number 6 in E major. These are in the first few bars of the piece. The first one here opens the piece. I thought it'd be a nice way to look at fingering ideas in the sense of having themes of fingering ideas, ways the hand's working. It's also just a nice line that outlines some chords. So we're going to take a look at that here. I'm starting with E and E, 7 and 12. First finger, little finger, stretch. I'm doing this in part to keep the continuity of the lines on the same strings, 5th and 1st strings, so they can be long. I figured the hardest thing on guitar is to play things long. It's easy enough to play things short, but to try to sustain things I think is more difficult and worth the challenge, worth the time. So 7 and 12. If you wanted, you could play this 6th string bass on the 12th fret and be in one position. I'm not overly fond of the tubbiness of bass strings when they get up in this range, so I keep it on the 5th string. It's a little tighter, a little less thuddy than that 6th string. So 7 and 12, E and E, F sharp and D sharp, which is kind of a B7 kind of a sound. So these two notes mean B7 or D sharp diminished, I suppose. Nine and 11. And now, so this is a wide one telescoping in. And I'm going to suggest another wide one that's going to telescope in for the continuation of the line. G sharp and D, 11 and 15. A and C sharp, 12 and 14. And now a wide one. B and B, octaves here. 9 and 12 with 1st and little finger, and then I'm going to use middle 2 fingers, 3rd and 2nd fingers, 11 and 10, C sharp and A, then D sharp and G sharp here, they're getting close, 8 and 9 on the 3rd and 2nd string with first 2 fingers, or maybe 1st and 3rd fingers so we can bring the E in underneath at the 9th fret. Now from where we are, he then makes the upper voice the first entrance in the stagger. Here we had lower voice, upper voice, but now we're going to get upper voice. Some interesting fingering ideas here if you want. So little finger, first finger, 7 and 9, E and E. Suppose we could use 1 and 3. I really like the feeling of 1 and 4 when they're gonna spread out, because if I wanted to maintain that E note, if I had 3rd finger there, I'm already splayed a little bit. So 9, 7, 1st and little, 2nd and 1st, this is the 7th and 6th fret, F sharp and D sharp. We're just doing the line, this in reverse, so all the voices are swapped places. So now we have a descending bass instead of an ascending bass. Sadly, we can't get down to this, which is why George Van Eps has the 7-string guitar. So for George, playing this sound would be, his 7th string would be right here on G sharp at the 11th fret of the 7th string tuned to A. So D sharp and F sharp, 6 and 7. I like this. Middle 2 fingers, 9 and 10. G sharp and D, that E7 kind of chord again. Then I'm using little finger and first finger, 9 and 10. Sounds like part of Love of My Life by Queen. Yeah. Then we're going to get B and B, 7 and 7 with a bar, or let's see. I'm fine with a bar. 7 and 7, B and B. And now A and C sharp, our stretch again, 5 and 9. So it's a kind of A chord. And now G sharp, D sharp, 11 and 11. I'm using 2nd finger and 4th finger because we're going to split to F sharp and E, 9 and 12. And to finish it off, here's E and F sharp then, 12 and 14. Could go farther, but then we're beyond the scope here. I hope this has given you something interesting to listen to, look at. I hope you have your guitar on and you're trying it while we go together here, looking at this line from Johann Sebastian Bach. I will put a link in the description. It's Invention number 6 in E major. And as always, I do wish you a very good day.